All right, look. On day 40, we're going to learn about the hungarrr games. I spelled it with an A because it's like a pirate. Look, I know most of y'all have seen the Hunger Games. I haven't. So we've been doing our research, and I know people have been like, you need to watch it, you need to watch it, you need to watch it. And we just put it off until the time is right, and it's like now. And what is it? What's the whole thing about? Seriously. It's about capital, okay? Mr. Snowhead, the Mr. Snow dictator guy. Remember, S is the 19th letter. This is where it gets funky because it all has to do with 19. It has to do with chaos. And in the first Hunger Games, you saw they showed you the cube real quick, which we already know that's going to be Saturn. Okay. There's 13 districts. Imagine that. 13 districts. And the funny thing is the animals. See, they make it a very important role to make sure that there's only animals to eat, basically. And that water, it's like, get to the water first. Woody Harrelson's like, get to the water first. Don't worry about nothing else. Listen, water's everywhere. This is how they condition generations. And this movie came out in 2012. And they're following. Listen, and that what happens is Mr. Snow, and here I've only seen the first one, Catching Fire. It's all about the Phoenix, but it's them, these controllers, telling us through, and we've only watched the first one and some of Mockingjay or whatever, part 1, where she goes to see what he did, because this is what they do, but they always win. Listen, they'll never let us win. It'll be an illusion, but we'll never win. But Snow tells Katniss, isn't that her name, Katniss? Yeah, Katniss, because that one chick's like, Katniss, how are you feeling right now? Katniss, tell the world, Katniss. And that's mind control. You know what I mean? It's gearing up a younger generation raised around sour heads and shit, from candy to energy drinks, and now here they are, and they think in their head that water is nowhere except in a fucking bottle or if it comes out of a faucet. And the only way we can eat is out of bags and animals. Do you understand? But it's like the repetitiveness. But it's to create because they're still going to push the series. So from the time it came out until whenever, it's always going to indoctrinate a generation about going at the Capitol. This, that, and the other. But he tells Katniss, Snow tells her, he says about District 13, isn't it? He says, I will turn it into ashes and I will bury it and it will be like it never existed, is what I'll do. Okay, and what do we keep talking about? Mud flood. Burning up shit, melting shit, filling it up and then planting us just like a garden. Well, that's basically what he said to her. And then what happens? She comes out there and Philip Seymour, they go, she's got to see it for herself. And what did he do? He did a Tom Cruise Tropic Thunder quote when he said, scorched earth, motherfucker. And then in the one that Snow found out, I guess it's the Mockingjay, the first one, I guess it would be the third one, but PETA, we got to talk about PETA, okay? PETA gives him a heads up because he's under mind control. Do you see what I mean? It's funny because they do the same shit, what they do to PETA in a movie, to all the movie stars, all of them on TV. They do the same shit. And they tell you, even Katniss is like, oh, what have they done to him? And then you all down here go, that's not real. Mind control's not real. How is not real? And he's sitting there and it shows him getting skinnier and all fucked up because it's what it is. You know, but I mean, it's like, this name right here would go into Peter, you know, which would be, it goes into rock. Yeah. It goes into a whole nother level of some shit. You know, but the whole thing is let's say you were, because it's fucked, oh, it's rated PG-13, right? Yeah. Okay. I mean, they had execution shit. Snow's like, this is what happens when you communicate and conjugate with Katniss, and he blows the whole hospital and everything up and then shoots everybody. Do you understand? And then that's when they're like, that's like Greta Thunberg. Here comes that swinging penis after all this. Do you see what I mean? They create this, and then them dummies are fucking energized by dumbness. And then here comes the dummy Grunt Thunberg, created from birth to be a dummy, to lead the goy in the wrong direction. Do you see what I mean? And, get him! It's created. They're creating this thing to collapse the Capitol. For real. But I mean, you know, she's like, you see that? The fire's burning. If we burn, you burn. And then what happens? Mr. Snow, of course, with all his technology and all his fucking money and weaponry and everything, he didn't think about the whoever these people are walking across the bridge, running up through fucking gunfire, setting bombs off to blow up the energy source. Yeah, same way like the Capitol. Yeah, we've gotten the highest terror alert ever, but yet, come on in here and then we're going to sell it. So he didn't have the smarts to be like, maybe we should build something real big so nobody could ever have a chance of coming up here at all. You know, and that's as far as I've gotten, because it's insane. It is fucking insane. Especially when he shoots, when all those people get shot. Oh, for wearing the Mockingjay symbol. Do you understand? Listen, that whole series has so much truth in it about what's coming. But it's not in that way. But it is that way. Okay? You've got to learn how to put the pieces together. You know, and nobody can. Because, I mean, look, it's all about, you know, giving people that have no fucking education about anything, about truth or the other side or anything to better themselves whatsoever. The only education the damn generations that have this shit in their head have is fucking garbage. This is nothing. They've had this since they popped out. You need to think about how dumb those ones are. Those ones. Yeah. You need to think about it. And they're the ones that's going to hang us because these were given to us to fuck up generations, to be like, hey, let's get them! And they've had all this shit in their head. And what have we done? Here we go! Go in your room. Program your fucking mind your young existence. Yeah, and be a dummy when you get older. And we can't even fucking see it. We can't see it. But it's crazy as shit how they tell you in this shit. And then, I ain't got this, but I know about what she does because everybody's like, she shoots the fucking dome thing. And I was like, yeah, well, of course. They love throwing that shit in everything they do. They love throwing the firmament in because you don't never look up. Hell, all this bullshit has made you sit inside. Do you understand? You know, in the 13 districts, of course, the 13 colonies, the 13 feathers, 13 everything's 13. And see, Snow is 4 letters, 1 word, 41. 41 is the 13th prime number. It's easy to put all this shit together. What was the other one's name? Shit. It's their little. It's the same shit they use. But it all has to do with Saturn. You know, and it's all about selling it, just like they do in that movie. That series, I guess. But, you know, you got to pay attention to what's going on. Because what PETA, mind control, all that shit's real. And then they get out there, and then the masses, like Samuel Jackson when he was like on Saturday Night Live, and he was like, get a shot! You know, you've always heard him be so direct. Well, Saturday night, most people are high as shit on all their medication. They're drinking some kind of alcohol. They're high as shit on sugar. And when they see that, there's going to be a large percentage of it. It's going to register in their brain from everything they've watched, that he's fucking been in so many movies, mind control, conditioning to get the blacks and the whites to go get it. And they do. And that's it. That's the only reason they did, is because they saw him in every movie saying, say what again, motherfucker? Say what? Say it again. You understand what I'm saying? And he's like, yeah. When I was sitting here eating my muffin, talking about walking the world. You know what I'm saying? That's called dark art, black magic. And that's the same way they groomed us to be so attached to Samuel Jackson and all the rest of them, is the same way that this series was created for the generations that's been with this shit in their hand. Because in their fucking head, this is like, I mean, you know, it's like they already have sort of like a lie in their head about like what's going on right now. So it's so easy for them to create this bullshit, bring in Antifa, which is the government, BLM, LGB, all of them. They're all organized corporations. Listen, anytime there's money involved, there's no fucking real love behind anything whatsoever. At all. Money always corrupts everything. It doesn't matter. Y'all can donate all you want, and it will fucking get worse and worse and worse and worse. But that's what they've done. You know, they created this shit. You know, I mean, they already had the generations. They had the schools. I mean, they're fucking forcing that technology in there. It's crazy. It's like, hold up. I thought we pretty much run all that shit. Well, if you sit back and look, you'll see how you ain't fucking run nothing. If you'll write out the last 30 years of the school, you'll see how all that shit was forced onto you. Forced inside, too. And now we know that the organs are growing for, you know, your whole young adolescent life. And when you're sitting down through 12 grades, the brain can't produce the organs like God made them to. They're designed. It's crazy. And see, that's how evil people do. They force people into this mindset knowing it's a lie, and then go through 2 generations. The ones that knew it was a lie are gone. Now those dummies are in. Oh, it's real. It's real. You should have been here 70 years ago. No, shut up. Don't you say nothing about my life. That's what they turn into, and it's crazy because, man, this is what, it doesn't matter. They got a fucking cup of tea for anybody. Whatever program you want, it's in there. God's not in here. This is Satan and man and shit. Not till you go against it and start looking outside, you'll never see it. I love you.